Hello everybody and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. I hope you're all well. I'm just doing this video because I'm getting very close to 2,000 subscribers. When I get to 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to send out 2 of my handmade cloths, dishcloths. Well, I call them dishcloths, you might call them washcloths, depending where in the world you are. And that's what one looks like. It's a square. And I'm going to send out 2. People put these on Etsy, so I had a little look and people make them and put them on Etsy. But I'm going to make 2 and send them to somewhere in the world. So I might send one to America, I might send one to Australia, might send one to Italy, might send one to Ireland. I'm going to send 2 out. And then I haven't decided my next target. My next target might be 4,000, which seems a bit crazy. I mean, 2,000 people is a lot of people, isn't it? But 4,000... that's an incredible amount of people. I'm going to send 2 of my macrame, or said in other parts of the world, macrame, is that right? Hangers, plant hangers that I make myself. In this video, you'll see me sort through the pile of things that I found underneath the sofa. I was hunting, if you remember, a few weeks back for my Girl Guide camp license things. And in my desperation, I thought maybe it's under the sofa. So I pulled loads of stuff under the sofa and was a bit shocked as to how much was actually there. So I had 2 piles that sat by the TV for a while. And I sort through both piles and end up with 1 pile, which is still too much, but I still think to myself about the layers. So that's just the first layer. And then when I go back to it, I'll get rid of more and put more things away. Also, I clean the little table, my glass table, and water my plants, cut back my plants where some of the plants have gone a bit brown or died. So I hope you enjoy my video. Thank you very much again for all your likes, your comments. Really appreciate you being here to support me on my journey. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye! So to start, sometimes I forget to do this. I thought I'd do a little video so you can see the area that I'm tidying up. So you can see the flowers need to go out. Got a few piles. All those things came from, well, most of those things came from underneath the sofa. And I just need to go through and sort out everything. Some books there that I bought fairly recently. But also there's one book there that just makes me feel really worried. And I have dreams about the book. And I probably got halfway through and I just said to my husband, I never really sort of feel anxious, but this book really does make me feel worried. It's all about anything I do say may be given in evidence. So it's this lady, she's walking home from a night out, and as she's about to go down a sort of underpass, somebody comes out of nowhere, and actually it's innocent, but she thinks he's about to attack her. So she pushes out at him and he falls down the stairs and she thinks he's died. So there's 2 parts of the story. One where she calls the police and tells everyone, and another where she then lives a lie and that all goes into the media about how this person's died in suspicious circumstances. And that's her. And it just really makes you sort of think that actually that could be a situation that anyone could be in, but of course anyone would normally just contact the authorities. Yeah, the whole sort of book really made me worry, and I had various dreams about it all where it sort of stressed me out. And my husband said, well, why do you want to finish it? Why don't you just give it away? And I thought, that's right. Why don't I just give it to the charity? So you can see here I'm going through all there's loads and loads of papers that I could get rid of. So I'm going through all these piles, so I'm putting everything on that plate of all the things I can get rid of. There's also a few books that I probably just need to take out of the pile and I need to put in my work bag. A couple of books that my daughter didn't want and I was going to give to charity, and I just thought, oh, I'm always looking for a notebook. I could just put that in my work bag. So there's a few different books and just papers that I just don't need anymore. There's things in my daughter's old school. So I went through some papers there. There's a couple of gardening magazines that I do want to read. One which is related to Christmas though. There's no point me now sitting down learning about how to make a wreath, is there? So I've put that on the stairs to go up, to go with all the Christmas things. And there's quite a few books. So a couple of books. There's one on kings and queens, which I'm going to send upstairs, and we can look at that at bedtime when we do bedtime stories. And then I've got piles of papers to do with the complaint that I had. It went to the House of Lords, actually, in relation to some of the topics that they're talking about to very, very young children. So I complained, and then the complaint was read out in the House of Lords. And who knows, I may have influenced the policy. Who knows? You never know, do you? I have the Jehovah's Witnesses knock on my door quite regularly. I think it's quite interesting. They don't vote, and they wouldn't complain about something like that because they think, oh, we can't really make a difference. But I like to think that we can make a difference, and that we should stand up for what we believe in. Not always easy, is it, to do that? Also, there's a few packs of homeopathic remedies. So I need to go back through this pile and sort through those things again. But at least I've gone through that first pile of things and done that first tranche of sorting. Also in that pile is a book from, on my video a few days ago, well, probably about a week ago, where I showed you the first people to live in my house that moved up from London in 1928. Well, one of the books is all his recipes. Absolutely amazing. And I have this idea that one day I could get it published. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Fascinating, like the recipes that he's got of different types of cleaner, recipes of different cakes, all things written in this absolutely amazing handwriting. But first of all, I need to write it all out into Word and just go through the recipes. And I guess, really, I should probably try the recipes out, shouldn't I? I had this idea that I could call it the recipes from an English gentleman. That was my idea. Bit of a pipe dream, isn't it? I thought that'd be quite nice, that part of history. To think that I've got that book that he wrote in not far off 100 years, really, is it? So you can see the pile is still quite big, but it's much smaller than what it used to be because I got rid of loads and loads and loads of papers to recycling. Then halfway through doing this video, I glanced over and I had propped my phone up on my daughter's Easter egg. And of course, she hadn't realised she'd eaten her lunch. She'd been watching a bit of telly, got her Easter egg, ate the Easter egg, and the video and the camera was basically recording the ceiling. So that was funny. She's got a few Easter eggs this year, which she's very pleased about, although she doesn't like chocolate orange. And I always think it's a bit awkward, isn't it? We can't say to people, oh, just to let you know, she doesn't really like chocolate much. Just to let you know, she doesn't eat chocolate orange. Not like the Terry's chocolate orange, I mean orange flavoured chocolate. She just doesn't like it. She really is much more of a savoury sort of person. She'll often have sweet things and she'll say, oh, that's too sweet. Or ice cream, oh, that's too cold and too sweet. And I say, well, you don't have to eat it, just eat part of it and throw the rest away. You don't have to have it at all. To be honest, she'd much rather have something that's salty. So something like olives, she loves olives, or there was dried tomatoes. So I don't know why my video was then slow and then suddenly went fast. But I just thought, well, I've cleared all that mess up and there seemed to be a bit of a collection of dust. That's what I do like about wooden floors. I just think if it was carpet, it would be much worse for her allergies. It's because it's wooden floors, I can just sweep round and get all the dust up. Also, that stand with the TVs on, I don't like that at all. But we got that when my daughter was really small, and it used to be in the other room between the two seats when we had the previous settee and sofa and chairs. And it's a little table, but the top comes off. And I think it's like a moment in time, because what I used to do, rather than put things away properly, I just shove it in the box when people came round. So I bet everything in there is probably from about 2013 to about 2018. And if I went in it, I'm sure I'd get a big shock. of the types of things that are left from all that time. So I decided then after I would just sort round and put my rest of my washing out that I'm trying to get dry before we go away, and then just wanted to clear up the floor. You can see though, that sofa on the left, you can see where there's dust, can't you? All the way under there. I need to get right under there with a dustbin and brush or a hoover and clean under there. That'd be a job for another day. Another homeopathic set that I need to find another home for. You can see I've got my knitting on the floor where I'm doing another washcloth for one of you lovely people. And then I do a little bit more sweeping round with the dustpan and brush. Sometimes people say to me, well, why don't you use the hoover? The problem today is the hoover's on charge and my daughter has just had her lunch. So it was lovely and clean until there's then like pieces of crisp or pieces of roll. She doesn't always use the plate when she sits in this room and watches television at lunchtime. And I often say to her, look, the plate is to stop the crumbs. Maybe I should encourage her to sweep up afterwards and then she'd be less inclined to spill on the floor, wouldn't she? I would have never done that. I think from about the age of 5, I wouldn't have spilled bits on the floor. My mum was quite strict about that. She didn't like any sort of mess with food, which is the right thing, isn't it? And then I think I've now put all the washing out. So I've got quite a lot of washing just to dry. And some trousers that we want to take tomorrow. Did some packing of the items that my daughter's going to take. We're probably going to have a small case each and then a spare case for food. So if we do buy anything, and we're not going to buy much from away. I never really spend that much money. We'll be able to put it in that spare case because we will have eaten the food that we're going to take with us. I know my in-laws are going to say, why have you got all those bags? Why have you got all that food? But there's just some things that you can't get while you're away. So, I mean, we don't take fresh produce. Like years ago, we used to take beans and tomatoes and all sorts. We don't do that now because, yeah, you can get fresh produce anywhere in Europe. But things like often they'll have gluten-free, wheat-free pasta, but they'll have egg, and she can't have egg. And then also, I don't speak any Dutch, so I'm not going to be able to go through the labels. And then lastly, I just wanted to show you a snippet. Make sure you don't scream when you see the camera. So this is my daughter's bedroom. So remember all that sorting out and clearing up I did? We've now got on the floor here loads of toys from her bed. That's because I changed the covers on her bed and said that she could only have 4 toys in the bed. Given she's got a dust allergy, I don't want her to have all those cuddly toys all in her bed. And then we've got loads of clean clothes. So thanks a lot for watching my video. I hope you're all well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!